Hi everyone. I appreciate your understanding in me sending you this video on our program today, Laser Cutting Basics. My name is Yolanda and I'm the Makerspace Coordinator here at the Elo Area Public Library. Now today I'm going to show you a couple amazing things that you can do to get started on your next laser cutting project. It goes from if you've never tried laser cutting before to if you're on an expert level, maybe you want a couple of ideas of where to get files, how the whole process works here at ELA. We can definitely help you. If you have any questions, please email me and I'm happy to answer those questions for you, or you can even give us a call and we can answer those questions over the phone or even drop in person. And if I'm here, I'm glad to answer any questions you have. Right before we get started, if you ever have a project idea and you're not quite sure how to execute it, feel free to also send that to me and we can see how our Glowforge laser cutter can help you create that project. So today we're going to go over a couple of things. We're going to start off, I'm going to show you a couple websites where you can find laser ready files that you can submit onto your 2-hour laser cutting appointment. So these laser files are laser ready. They might just need a couple tweaks. And then let's say you do download a file and you're just curious, how am I going to personalize it? So we're going to show you an easy way to engrave something on your object. Create an engraving using our software called Inkscape. It's a free software to download. You can download this at home on a computer. And you can definitely open up your file and customize it with text to make it unique and special to you. The next step after that, after learning how the whole engraving process, we're going to go over submitting a file for a 2-hour laser cutting appointment and what happens once you submit that file and kind of the whole process of it all into your appointment where you come in and get your project cut using our Glowforge laser cutter. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so sharing my screen. I wanted to show you quickly one of the first sites that I absolutely love. It is called the Glowforge community site. It's a community forum. So these are Glowforge owners who've messed around with the Glowforge and have designed files, SVG files that are ready for your Glowforge. So most of the time you can just type in Glowforge free designs. And it should always be the first link up here. And then let that load. And so this is the free laser designs right here. You can just kind of scroll down and you can see the titles of each one of these and kind of get like a miniature garden bench. We can definitely click on these so you can kind of see this is a miniature garden bench. I'm going to click on it and it shows you the file, how they created it. So it's a little file there. They also give you kind of an idea of what kind of material to use, maybe sometimes some settings. So this information is always very important. So if you do get some files from this site, please take note of those settings and put them in our comment section, and I will show you where that is in a bit. So then what's also really cool is that a lot of people comment and give some more information and things like that. There's a lot of different files on here. This is where mostly we get our files for samples here in Forge. If you are interested in looking up, seeing, oh, do they have this? You can go ahead and click this magnifying glass here. You can type in something that you might be interested in. Let me see. Let me type in shark. Let's see if something comes up with shark. So then you're going to go ahead and click where it says shark in free laser designs. So you want to make sure that we stay within our free laser designs. And then you can see all of these things that pop up right here. These are the ones that they recommend the most with that tag. And you can kind of just scroll down and see if you find a shark. So it looks like maybe there's no shark in here, but there's some other really cool stuff. So like, let's look at the laser cut poker tips. And they show you sometimes some pictures so you can see it in live. So you can see how cool it looks. And then that's also really awesome. You can, let's see, let's do the small medium display rack. So let's see if there's not, oh, there isn't a picture here. So let's go to another one. We can, so this is kind of a collection box. Let's see this one. Scroll up. So this is the file, and then this is the image of their completed project. So you can see how they kind of this clear is the acrylic that they use, and then the wooden elements around it. That's all draft board. So that's kind of cool. And then this file right here, it's as simple as right clicking it and then save image as and save it onto your desktop. So this is a really cool site that you can use. Another site that we recommend is Thingiverse. So Thingiverse is very popular in our Forge makerspace because 3D printing 3D printing files can also be found on Thingiverse. So you can find a variety of different 3D printing files, but they're also starting to collect files for laser cutting. So it's really, really cool. You can see that here they laser and CNC'd a book holder. This car is made out of wood. You can see that they laser cut the body of this car. You would scroll down and you would see different files like this can be laser cut. It's kind of like a 2D image that's turned into a 3D image, but the file has an SVG or a special file that can be used for a laser cutter. See this dragon, this bottle holder, um, like this really cool parts box. So if we click on this parts box, so you guys can see the layout of Thingiverse. This is what it looks like. They give you an image of the finished product. They give you multiple images actually. So you can go ahead and click on those images in different angles. This is what the file looks like. Um, you can put labels in it. This is the compartment by itself. These are the pieces just to show you kind of how everything is laid out. So that's really cool. And then if you scroll down, you see right here where it says thing files and there's a number 1. Most of the time for 3D printing, there might be multiple files because multiple parts. But with a laser cutting, they can put everything on one file. So it's an AI file, which is great. AI means Adobe Illustrator file. You can download that here and download it onto your desktop and then just submit that in your form. And we can get that set up and ready for when you come in for your appointment. So that's Thingiverse. So there's a variety of different things you can do on Thingiverse. It's as simple as just typing in the search box. You can put the tag laser cut and you'll get files that are meant for laser. The next site is called Love Paper Crafts. It is a blog by this young lady here, Chelsea Rachel. She does SVG files. And so she creates these files that she uses for like a Cricut or a silhouette, but these can also be used for the Glowforge, which is really awesome. And so all these different files are free for anyone to download. And so she just likes sharing. So you feel free to come onto this site. Another site is Instructables. So in Instructables, it's instructables.com. You can type in on the top search bar right here, laser cutting, and all of these pop up. These are really cool laser cut projects that people have created and love to share with others. And you can definitely come in here and download. So like, let's check out this really cool elephant. So it's like an elephant puzzle. Show you a variety of different images. Up here, you can download the PDF, which will give you the file for this specific design. Another cool thing is that they kind of say like, hey, I found this design on Thingiverse, as you can see here. And then he kind of customized it, or he just wanted to make instructions for it. So it looks like he edited his design on CAD. And so you can see he has an AI and he also has a PDF. So there's a variety of different types of files that you can use for laser cutting. Okay, so the different files that you can use for laser cutting are .svg, .png duotone, .ai, and .pdf. What we have found out is if you share an SVG file with us with a specific kind of font, it might not show up on our end because we might not have the font styles in our computer. So I do recommend a lot of times, especially if you're doing maybe a charcuterie tray or anything with a specialized font um, that you have downloaded or that you have on your computer, to save it as a PDF because that'll appear on our end as the font that you would like. But of course, we can fix that real quickly during your appointment if you notice that there's any changes to your file. Um, I wanted to kind of go in and talk about, let's see. So Inkscape, everyone should have received an email reminder from me, and then there was an Inkscape link to their site directly. So this is Inkscape. You can download their software. Again, it is free to use. You can download their software based on your computers, um, your type of computer. And then once you download it to your computer, you are free to use it however you wish. So I'm going to show you today a quick way to download a file. So let's go into here and let's, instead of shark, let's type in a daisy. Daisy's in, okay. Is it this one? I think it is. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so let's say we want this file. It's a really pretty daisy. It's springtime. We want to print multiple wooden flowers to paint and to decorate our space. So here, the person who designed this is just sharing the file. There's no pictures or anything like that, but you can see what it could be. So you're going to right click it. You're going to save image as on your desktop. And once that's there, you're going to open up Inkscape, which will we do here. Open up Inkscape and import your file to Inkscape. So I'm going to show you how to import real quick. You're going to click File. Down here it says Import. I'm going to go into your computers and you're going to open up where your file is. Then everything is already set up. You're going to press OK and you're going to get your daisy ready. So here, your daisy, everything comes grouped in these files just to, keep everything together. If maybe you didn't want to edit, you want to go straight into laser cutting. So they group it for that reason. You can ungroup it by just going to Object, going to Ungroup, and it'll separate your file. If that doesn't work, if you notice that that's not separating your objects within your file, you can also go to Path and break apart. So what that means, grouping is just keeping your objects together in a group. Um, when you're breaking something apart with a path, that means that they are welded together. They're stuck together and you need to force them apart to be able to edit or do anything individually to their specific objects. So for this instance, they were just combined together just to keep the file together from moving apart. So we're going to delete this daisy because we already had one here. And let's say we want to engrave this daisy. We want to, make it for someone special. So we can highlight this and I'm going to actually make it bigger. We do use millimeters in our space, but you are free to use inches if it makes it easier for you. And today we'll use inches. And then so we can see that it's about 4.433 in height. So we kind of want it a little bigger. We want a good size daisy. So let's say 8, let's double the size. Okay. And this piece in the center is going to make it three-dimensional. So it's going to give it a little pop in the center. So we want the engraving on the circle. So you're going to go here to the left side where it says A, that's for text. And you're just going to go ahead and click anywhere on the canvas. And you're just going to type in a name. So we're going to type in my name. Okay. So I'm going to type in my name and I'm going to try to put it in the center of this. It's a little big. So we're going to go ahead and adjust the size. Now, when you adjust the size, you need to make sure that this lock up here that's kind of orangey is that color. If it's not, if it's white, that means it's unlocked, which will mean that it just destroys the original setting. So we want to make sure we're going to Control Z. We're going to go ahead and lock it so that we can't do that. See, it just changes the size. See, everything stays where it's supposed to. So we're going to do just a little bit like that. Now we're going to try to center it, but I understand that sometimes it's hard to figure out where the center is. So we're going to go ahead and drag and highlight the circle and the text. And we're going to go to, let's actually show you where that is here. Oh, it's down here. Yep. So it's under Object, Align and Distribute, and it's going to pop open this window here on the right side. So as things pop open, your tools will stay on this right side of your software. I already had Align and Distribute, but I wanted to show you. So again, it's under Objects, Align and Distribute to open this page right here. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead. These are the align options, and it shows you with the red line through all these where you're aligning it to. We want to align it right down the middle, so we're going to click on this one right here. And even if you hover over it, it will tell you it's a center on vertical axis. So now we centered it right in the middle, but now we want to make sure we center it on the horizontal axis, which is right underneath that one. And it moved just slightly. And now it is perfectly centered in the middle where we want it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this text into a vector. So a vector means that it has specific lines, like little diodes, that tell the laser where to engrave or do its job. So right now it's just a text, which is kind of like, think of it like an image. So we want to make sure that this turns into an SVG file, just like our flower and our circle is. So what we're going to do is just click on it. We're going to go to Path and put Object to Path. So we want to create paths for each one of the letters. Now, what does this mean? It means that when we click on this tool right here, which is our Path by Nodes tool, it's a little cursor, you'll see that it starts highlighting around the text. So that means that now the laser has a path to follow. Okay, just like our circle has a path and our flower has a path, but that already had a path because it was already designed that way. So another thing is that when you have text and you have if you kind of hover over and every letter highlights on its own, that could get a little tricky when we upload it onto the laser file, on the laser software, because we might accidentally move a letter off space and it just won't stay together and aligned where we want it. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually weld it together. If you guys remember, we can break something apart. We're going to go to Path and we're going to combine something, which is the opposite of break apart. So we're going to combine it. And now you see all these little nodes. So we're going to click on this main cursor here, the Select and Transform Objects cursor. We're going to click on the outside of the white. We're going to go ahead and click back on that node cursor and just go over our text. And you see now everything is combined together. So now it will forever stay that way until we break it apart. So that is exactly what we want. Now, we want to also, what's very important with laser cutting is colors. So if you put things different colors, it helps us, helps our laser software divide up different tasks. So if we go ahead and click on the text, we're like, we don't want the text cut out of that center circle. We want it engraved. In order for the laser to understand that this is going to be a different task, we have to change the color. So it could be as simple as a fill stroke, which is again under, I believe it's under, yep, under Object right here, fill stroke. You click on that, you'll get that toolbox. Again, under Objects, and it's called fill stroke. It's the second thing on in the little box, and you'll get this. So the fill stroke, it's gonna have the fill, the stroke paint, and the stroke style. We're gonna start off with the fill, and we're gonna make sure that we click that X. So no paint. As you can tell, our text disappeared, okay? And we're gonna go to our stroke paint, and we're gonna click that first flat color, all right? So it created an outline, which is exactly what we want. Now that outline, we were gonna assign it a blue color. So we're just gonna click on this blue and give it a blue color. Now this flower is black currently. we want to assign it a task. We can keep it black, but to make it easier for the laser to really understand, we're going to assign it a red color. So we're going to go ahead and click on this red color here. And then the circle also, we want it to be cut just like the flower. So it's the same task. So we're going to go ahead and also click on the red color. And so now you can see easily on your file that the red, we assigned it a cut, and a blue, we assigned it an engrave or score. So now we want to make sure that this text stays centered where we want it. So we're going to go ahead and group this. We're not going to combine it, because if we combine it, it will turn into that red color because it's the same task. We just want to group it. We just want to make sure that it doesn't move. So we're going to go ahead and click group. And so now no matter where we move our circle, it will stay, okay? Now we could have done this text option on the flower, maybe on the petal or in the center. It's really up to you, but we're gonna cut this extra wooden piece so that the center kind of pops out of our flower. Okay, so that's kind of the design we have. And then when we're done with that, you can feel free to group everything. I'm gonna leave everything the same here because I might be using scrap wood or something like that. So I'm just gonna, it's perfectly fine the way it is. So now we're gonna go here to File. We are done. We are set with our engraving. We're gonna go to File. We're gonna go ahead and click on Save. I'm gonna type in Daisy Engraving. Save. And that's it. We saved our file. Now, when you're done editing your file and you're just like, I really like the way it turns out, and now I want to submit it for a 2-hour appointment so that I can go into the library and cut it on the laser. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our website, eapl.org. Again, eapl.org. This is what our website looks like. In order to get to our Forge page, you have to go under Learn, Explore, and Forge Makerspace. Again, Learn, Explore, and Forge Makerspace. So this is our Makerspace page, and you can see everything that we have in our space for your use. And you can go ahead and submit that laser cutting appointment here. I would like to point out we do have a make a one-on-one appointment. Now, if you're having trouble finding a specific file or downloading it or doing the whole engraving process and you're not comfortable with Inkscape, I do encourage you to make a one-on-one appointment with us, and we can sit down and answer those one-on-one questions. So we can work on a small project and kind of get you comfortable with Inkscape and engraving, making engraving on possible on your files and things like that. We can definitely do that with a one-on-one appointment. Our laser cutting appointment form is if you're ready with your file and you are ready to cut. You just need that scheduled time to come in and use our Flowforge. So you can go ahead and click that laser cutting appointment because we have our file, we have our daisy that has been completed. And then this is the form that you have to fill out. All the ones with the asterisks are necessary to complete your submission. So we're going to go ahead and type in our name. So that's my name. You can type in a library card. For our instance right now, I'm just going to put in random numbers. We do check library cards. Make sure your library card is in a good standing. If it's not in good standing, maybe there's a block or anything like that because you need to update it, maybe it expired, we will send you an email and let you know, hey, make sure you fix your library card, come on in and we can help you at circulation. And then once that's done and ready, your library card is all set and good, we can go ahead and proceed with making this appointment. So we can go ahead and put our email address. This is our email address right here. If you ever have any questions, my email is yprado@eapl.org. I'm always available for you guys, so please feel free to email me. This is our library phone number. If you do decide to give us a call, you can go ahead and give us a call here on this number, 847-438-3433. And our Forge extension is 123, okay? And then go ahead and tell me your availability. That way I can see when I have, I can come in a little later, or maybe I normally do business hours, but I can definitely accommodate your availability. So maybe it's a weekday morning, weekday afternoons, weekday evenings, or even weekends. Just so you know, weekends I do consider Friday through Sunday. So you have three options there. And so we'll give you the next available time slots. So we're going to say weekday morning for me. And so now this is where the fun part starts. You get to upload that file that you just edited. So you can go ahead and put in that file, and it here gives you the allowed file types. Also know that the PDF files are also allowed, so you can definitely upload your PDF file here. And then it also gives you some more information on our laser cutter. It can cut material under this length and size, so this size right here. And you should be able, you do have a 2-hour printing window. So it really depends on what you're trying to do within those 2 hours. And just, don't get discouraged if you're printing a lot of something. Maybe you're printing a lot of daisies for event or something that you're having a party or whatever. And you're like, I really want these daisies cut. We can definitely talk during your 2-hour reservation and make a second reservation as soon as possible for you. And that also allows staff to be available too. So if you do need to cut more, we can talk about it during your 2-hour reservation when we're getting your first cuts in. So go ahead and submit your file. We're going to go ahead and click browse, and we're going to our downloads, which is where I save my files, Daisy engraving. All right. So now we see that it's there. You can also remove it if you're like, oh no, that's not the file I wanted. But for now, that is the file I wanted. This is the comments and questions that you can have. This box is very important. It gives us all the information we need. In here saying let's say I have my own material. I want to be as specific as possible so that we know and we can contact you like, hey, can you send us pictures of your tags or any receipts just to verify the material? Because I also don't want you guys to come in and then us deny your material because of whatever situation it may be. If we can figure out all the materials and all that stuff before you come in, it would be better so that way you're prepared when you come in and you can actually cut your material and your project during your appointment. So let's say I have my material. I'm going to let you know. I'm going to let the staff know what material I have. Say I'm going to say 1/8 inch plywood from Menards. I'm going to be specific there, the store. 1/8 inch plywood from Menards. We can also put in, I'm trying to think what other things we want to kind of see. Oh, may please send me an estimate time to print, let's say 10 of the daisies. Yeah, so we can put that information there. So I just told staff from Forge I have 1/8 inch plywood from Menards. And please send me an estimate time to print 10 of these daisies. So once I submit it, I'm going to receive the email and I'm going to be like, okay, 1/8 plywood from Menards. I would really like to know what kind of plywood because it's a different kind of plywood. There could be birch, it could be pine, it could be, maple, it could be a bunch of different kinds. So then I will send you an email and let you know, hey, would you be more specific on the type of plywood? Please also make sure that there's no paint, stains, or any finishings on your wood. It has to be raw wood because it interacts with the laser and we don't want any toxic fumes. And then we can email that way and we can have a conversation via email. And also I can email you saying, okay, so your 10 daisies on your 1/8 plywood is going to take approximately an hour and 45 minutes to cut and engrave. Okay. So that's kind of how we communicate. So we're going to go ahead and submit that. All right, and it says new submission added to your laser reservation form. And just like that, you have submitted your laser reservation. Now, after this step, I've already explained to you a little bit of what happens. Our staff receive your email, and let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Okay, so our staff receive your email. We submit it into our laser cutting printing queue. And we send you an email with availability, dates and times. Our times ranges. So if we give you a range between 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., um, that's kind of the times that we're free and able to do an appointment. So you can go ahead and email us back with a specific date and time that you are available. And if those dates don't work, please just email us back and let us know, like, hey, none of those days actually work for me. Is there other availability maybe in the afternoon, or you can say further out in the following week? And we can definitely email you other availability dates and times. After that, we communicate with you via email as well about your materials. So make sure that your materials is a safe material to cut. There is a variety of different kinds of plastics and even woods and stuff that we can't cut in our laser or find it super difficult. So we can definitely have that conversation. Also in the comments, if you prefer us to give you a call instead of email, put it in the comments so that we know, hey, we need to call this person to have this conversation with, and we can definitely do that. Another thing that happens afterwards, once you have your appointment date and time set, we will be waiting for you in the forge on that date and time. We will have our Glow Forge up and operational, plugged in, turned on, our software up, and your file already loaded. So once your file is loaded, we will talk to you about your material, of course, making sure that the material is approved. It needs to be approved before we even put it into the machine. If our staff says it's not approved, we can definitely walk you through the processes of where to purchase material if you'd like to purchase material from our space. Our material in our space is an 8x10 base wood, also a 6x10 acrylic sheet, and I believe it's an 8x10 piece of leather. So they're very fairly small, but you can definitely let you know where you can purchase other material that's a little larger for your project at Home Depot or Menards. They also sell material at Walmart and Michael's. So you can feel free to do that. We can also try our best to give you some links of some places that we've had other patrons use. So we are happy to share that information with you and then reschedule your appointment for a later date. If your material is approved and everything is ready to go, we will have a conversation about your file, making sure that we're cutting the right things and we're engraving the right things, we're scoring what you want scored. So we'll show you on our laser cutting software. And so have that conversation like, oh, I really want the outline of that daisy cut out, and I want the circle cut out, and I just want the name engraved. Then you can see us tell the Glowforge those tasks, and then the fun part starts. So then we're going to upload that onto our machine, the Glowforge laser cutter. We do have the basic model, and we're going to put your material in. And once that happens, the Glowforge takes a picture of the material inside. We get to place it in a specific spot to try to save material for you, so you can use that any extra material for any other future projects. And then afterwards, our Glowforge little shine has a button on top of the machine, and it shines and it's like flashing when it's ready to go. So we're going to ask you to go ahead and press that button and watch the magic happen. So it's a lot of fun to watch the laser do its thing. And then afterwards, after the specific amount of time, when we're there, the software does give us an estimated time that's very accurate. So after that, you can decide if you would like to continue cutting. Maybe you want to cut more than 10 within your 10-hour, your more than 10 within your 2-hour appointment. And you are free to use that time however you would like. Once you are done cutting, we will return back your material. We can answer any questions you have. And then afterwards, you are ready to submit a second appointment and a third and a fourth. We are happy to help you in any way that we can to make sure that your projects come to life and are exactly how you envision them. Again, if you have any further questions, please feel free to email me at yprado@eapld.org. Sorry. So yprado@eapl.org. You can also give us a call. Forge's extension is 123. And we can definitely talk about any ideas or questions over the phone. Again, my name is Yolanda Prado, and I'm the Makerspace Coordinator here at Gila Area Public Library. It was a pleasure to make this video for you, and I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the process of creating a laser cutting file, finding them online. There's a lot of free laser ready files for you, and how to customize them to add an engraving, as well as submitting that 2 hour appointment and kind of getting a behind the scenes look at what happens after that appointment is filled out and sent out. Again, feel free to send me any questions. I hope you have a fabulous week and hope to see you in Forge soon. Bye.